Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Focus on Tomorrow. I'm Will Caballero. And for those who don't know, Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit organization which is located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. For any questions or comments, you can call us now at 312-738-1060. And today we are featuring Cancer Kiss My Cooley. And with us, we have Director Sonia Bagwe. How are you doing today,
good. How are
Sonia?
you?
I'm great. I'm great. So the question is, what was the mission behind Cancer Kiss My Cooley?
Okay, well, we all know cancer is such a devastating disease, and I think a lot of people have been affected by cancer in some aspect or another. And when you think of a little child as young as even 2 months old who's battling a beast like brain cancer, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and it kind of robs them of their childhood a bit. We know cancer is very unpredictable, and so in that essence, Cancer Kiss My Cooley, we try to create special moments and lasting memories for the child and their family through our Kiss of Hope program, which is the essence of Cancer Kiss My Cooley.
Oh, so can you tell us about how the program works and how do you
Sure.
get the kids out of it?
Sure. The Kids of Hope program is actually in partnership with Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital and Journey Care for Kids in Barrington. And we get our referrals from them. There's a set of, I think, 8 or 9 different diagnosis codes for brain cancer. And so as long as they fall within that, they get referred to us. And then we get to meet the family. We form a relationship with them. In essence, they do become part of the Cancer Kiss My Cooley family. And then once we get to know them, we do plan a memory-making experience for them. We've sent families on vacations throughout the United States. We've introduced them to celebrities such as Justin Timberlake, the Cake Boss, anything that they want, we try to make happen for them. We want to have them have a great memory. We want them to be able to escape cancer even just for a little bit without having to worry about finances and, you know, just the day-to-day struggles that they have. We try to kind of lighten it up for them.
So it's like you give them happiness.
Yes, definitely. I mean, seeing the kids smile, seeing the family smile, even just for that short period of time, it's amazing.
I mean, the stories behind the kids. How are the stories behind with the kids who are having these type of problems with cancer?
You know, it's tough. Like I said, we have children who are young as 2 months old all the way up to 18 years old. And, you know, some of these tumors progress quickly, and, you know, time is limited, and it's a tough thing to see. And, you know, I can't imagine having a child who's battling something so hard. And I can't speak to that, but, you know, if I can make a child smile, even just for a little bit, it's worth it.
It is worth it, right? It's worth
is.
It's worth every single thing. So this March you are hosting the Kiss It Gala show, right? Or I'm guessing it's an event.
It's an event.
So how will the success of that event be to your mission forward?
Okay, so our Kiss It Gala, so our Kiss of Hope program is 100% based on donations. That's how we are successful, is through the kindness of everyone out there who donates to us. And so our Kiss It Gala is our largest fundraising event of the year. We have sponsors, we have raffles, we have silent auctions, and our base usually is like, we have hundreds of people that come out for this event, and it's great exposure for us. We have a lot of people who donate, you know, goods and time and their services for this event. So even if we can just inform a few more people about our cause, then it's a great thing.
And this is just one event, one of many events, right? That
Yes,
you guys
correct.
Have. Can you talk about the other events that you guys might be having?
Sure. We have the Cubs Day outing. We have the bike run. We have the car show. We have a car show, yeah. But our gala is definitely the biggest event, biggest fundraising event of the year.
Well, thank you so much, Sonia.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know, Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit organization. You can find us at the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. And with us today, we also have Joe Barry, who is also a director for Cancer Kiss My Cooley. How you doing today?
Great, thanks.
Awesome, Joe. So can you tell us a little more about Cancer Kiss My Cooley and how exactly, you know, you guys came up with an interesting name?
Well, Cancer Kiss My Cooley was founded, it was my cousin Joe's son, Carter, who was going through brain cancer. And when Carter would go to his chemotherapy treatments, that was the phrase that he would say, was that cancer could kiss my Cooley. So the other part of Carter's mission was that he wanted everybody's dream to come true. So that is really what the foundation was built upon, was telling cancer to kiss my Cooley and creating those special memories, as Sonia had said, that lets those families escape sickness and the everyday routine of going to doctors and dealing with medications, and just giving them some kind of a happy, normal experience that they can remember forever.
And you had your own son die to cancer, right?
I did.
Maybe you could talk to us about that?
Sure.
I mean, how was he like? I mean, how did you know he needed medical attention?
So back in 2005, it was April 13th, I remember specifically, Joey was walking home from kindergarten, and he was walking like he was drunk. And, at 6 years old, he came up to the door and he started to slur his speech. And I thought he was just being a 6-year-old boy. And when we tell him to stop it, he would stop it. But within the next 10, 15 minutes, he would start to act funny again. So we took him to the emergency room, and they did one scan and found a brain tumor right away that was wrapped around his brainstem, which meant that surgery was not an option. So we did the one treatment that was available, which was radiation and chemotherapy, and it was almost 6 months to the day from diagnosis until he passed.
6 months diagnosed to the day he passed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how was that experience? Just just watching him with the brain cancer.
Right. It's obviously a very difficult situation. Nobody ever wants to see a sick child, and especially when it's your own. But I do recall that last 6 months of my son's life, he lived more life than many people I know have in their whole entire lifetime, just through the generosity of strangers and people who were sympathetic to our cause. They really let my son live that 6 months the way that someone would want to live. Anything from, we went to Disney World a few times, we got to go and swim with dolphins, just the local community coming together, fire department, the police department, and just random strangers that just cared and wanted to come out to support us.
So how important is to have the support, like to support cancer, like Cancer Kiss My Cooley during difficult times like these?
It's very important. There are a lot of day-to-day things that families really might overlook because they're concentrating on the health of their child. They're doing things that are new to their routine. They're taking them to doctor's appointments and to specialists and whatever it is that their kids need, they're dropping their normal day-to-day activities to do these. So bills can pile up. Many times it's financial, many times it's emotional. It's a very emotional time to be watching your child when you know that there's a very good likelihood that they're not going to survive this. But that generosity that the people are showing and the sympathy that you get from the community really, really did make a big difference for us.
And it really helped you guys throughout the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you think, your son having this changed you as a person?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In what ways?
It definitely puts a different perspective on life. I'll say now that I'm very rarely serious about anything because I've been through probably the most serious situation that I can think of as a parent. And what I've learned from that is you control what you control and you just learn to live with the rest.
Wow. So can you cover some of the experience that Joey had towards the end of his life that made his final days, just a little bit special?
Absolutely. I mean, just some of the people that came out, some of our doctors that we had worked with during Joey's treatment, took a very special liking to him, and they had a timeshare in Florida that they just sent us down for a week. And this was towards the end when Joey was very sick and he wasn't very mobile, so we couldn't go on rides and things like that. But going to like downtown Disney and going to shows and seeing fireworks and just doing things as a family together really made the difference for us.
Made a difference for,
right.
So how did the people in your community actually did come together? Because you said the firemen, and you had the local support. But, I mean, how did the community in general come together for?
The community, just through word of mouth and friends. I grew up in a very small town in the northwest suburbs that I've been there for over 40 years now. And anything from fundraisers to friends that would just coordinate things for us, whether it was cleaning the house if we were extending stays at the hospital or taking care of pets, or my other children were another factor because there were many times when they required a little bit more attention than we were able to provide at the time. So friends and family certainly came out to provide that support.
Awesome. So going back to Cardinal Kenner, Cardinal Kenner was a Cubs fan, and he even got to throw the first pitch out, right? So in his honor of you guys having started the Cubbies Day Out program, so can you tell us what's it about?
Sure. So Carter, obviously a number one Cubs fan.
I love the Cubs, right?
Blue to the day he died, absolutely. So we do a party, and it's a tailgating party before Cubs Brewers game. We typically do this up in Milwaukee. We'll get together beforehand. We'll take a bus up there so that nobody has to worry about transportation or whatever refreshments may happen throughout the day driving home from that. So it's a really good time. We get a great following of people. We get Cubs fans. We get Brewers fans. We don't care. As long as we're all coming together to tell cancer to kiss my Cooley, that's what we're all about.
So, what does Cooley actually mean again? I was trying to figure out.
Cooley, it's Italian slang for bottom, or for
bottom.
backside, right?
And and you said Carter will always say "Cancer, kiss my Cooley."
Absolutely. As part of his treatments, he would say "Cancer can kiss my Cooley."
And how did you get involved with "Cancer, kiss my Cooley"?
Kind of an interesting story behind that. So right after my son Joey passed in 2005, I got an email from a teacher in Wisconsin. Who had been doing some genealogy work. And she came across my son's obituary in the paper and wanted to let me know that we were involved in their family tree. So in the email, she sent the link out to the website, and I went out there and saw all the work that she had done. And she had gone pretty far back into our family history, some of which I knew, some of which I did not. And just thought it was nice of her to contact her, so I sent her a thank you. And about 3 years later, my wife was listening to the radio one morning, and she heard an advertisement on the radio for a little boy who lived locally to us that was battling a brain tumor, and they were having a fundraising event a few weeks afterwards. And my wife wanted to go. For all the people that helped us while Joey was sick, we definitely wanted to pay forward and do what we can for others facing that same situation. So we went to this fundraiser, and on the way we decided that we didn't necessarily want to introduce our story to the parents, but we definitely wanted to say that we were a resource, we lived locally, and if it comes up later, it can come up later, but we didn't want to bring any kind of negativity into the situation. So we got to this fundraiser, and the grandparents were collecting the admission fee at the front door. And I said, I explained that we had been through this recently. And I said, my name is Joe. This is my wife, Sin. My wife's name is Cindy, but I call her Sin. Right. And he says, no, you've got to be kidding me. And I said, no, my name is Joe, and this is Sin. He said, no, you guys have to meet the parents now. So he took us over to the parents, and he said, Joe, I'd like you to meet Joe. And Sin, I'd like you to meet Sin. And the other Joe's wife, his name is Cinnamon, but Joe and I were both in the IT industry, and the Sins both worked in insurance and in healthcare. Wow. So just some kind of weird, coincidences. Yeah. Our boys were both 6 years old when they got their brain tumors, and we just thought that was kind of an eerie coincidence.
Right.
So we followed the Kettners throughout their journey. The next morning, they had a balloon launch before Carter was to go to St. Jude's. Down in Memphis, and we met a lot of the family members there. And over the next, the 15 months, I believe it was, that Carter's battle continued, we stuck with the Kettners. But at one point, I was going back and cleaning out my email box, and I came across that genealogy link. And I opened it back up just to see if she had done any more work, and the first word that I saw was cinnamon. And you don't meet a lot of people named Cinnamon.
No,
so I looked, and I saw the husband was Joe, and there's their son Bowen, and there's their son Carter right there. It turns out we were third cousins. We lived less than 2 miles from one another, and we just never knew each other up until that point. But it was at that point when Joe said that he wanted to start this organization that we knew there was too much coincidence here. There was some kind of fate that brought us together to do this, and that's why I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Really? I mean, that's so you guys are third cousins?
We're third cousins, absolutely.
You guys found out you guys are third cousins?
Yeah. I've traced the family tree back to show where it is.
You guys have the same name.
Same name, yeah.
And it all came down to, wow. So, I mean, what other type of organizations do you guys have in, like, in Cancer Kiss My Cooley, other than the, the Cubbies Day Out program?
Well, we do that Cubbies Day Out. We always take donations through the website.
Okay.
That's another way that we can always help. But we try and do something that's going to be fun, because many of our activities will involve the Cooley, the families that we involve. And as Sonia had said, they instantly become a part of our family. And,
Yeah,
and many of them, they stay around and they help to volunteer.
I mean, yeah, because you guys also hold events like the 5Ks and the half marathons, right? As Sonia was explaining. And but my thing was, like, how do these events help you raise awareness on your mission and get people involved in your organization?
Okay. Well, I mean, most of the people they don't want to have to ever know what this is like, but they can see how these brain tumors are affecting the families, and they just want to help. I mean, we rely so much on people that just care.
Do you think it's really hard for them to talk about it? That's why it's so hard for them to get involved into it. Because I mean, me personally, no one really wants to talk about a kid who had a brain tumor.
Right,
Right.
right.
That's just so sad. Like, the fact that you come up here and you have confidence in talking about it, without any type of emotion, is such a great, it's helping out. But I mean, my thing is, like, do you think it's really hard for them, for people, to talk about the situation like this? That's why maybe it's hard. Maybe, like, that's why it's so hard, like, for them to be aware of these type of situations.
It is. It's a very uncomfortable situation. Nobody likes to talk about dying children, or even sick children, for that matter. So a lot of what our organization does is, rather than just collect this money so that we can make these wishes, we try and involve the community. Ways that people can help can go so far beyond just monetary. I mean, obviously we do rely on monetary contributions to be able to deliver these kisses of hope. But there are volunteer opportunities when we do things like the 5K and the gala. Those things don't just happen. It takes a lot of planning and volunteer work to help to make those a good success.
So how can people volunteer into Cancer Kiss My Cooley?
On the website, we promote all of the events that we have coming up, and the website is www.cancerkissmycooley.org. And we're always looking for volunteers, so if you have a special talent, or if you have special connections, or if you're just looking for some way that you can give back to the community, we can certainly use your help.
I'm pretty sure you worked with a lot of kids who've been suffering a lot of brain tumors, right? I mean, other than your own personal story with your child, is there one specific story that really, like, maybe touched you, that you could remember?
There is, and it was specifically the Justin Timberlake wish.
Really?
It was a little girl that lives down here in the city. She's 3 years old, and she loves Justin Timberlake and American Girl dolls, and she loved to sing and to dance. And I just put out a message on Facebook to say, does anybody have connections to Timberlake? Because I was looking to get tickets to the concert. And a friend of my sister works with had sent her an email saying that he did not know either of these two personally, but if we were going to get to Timberlake's people, here were 2 email addresses to send off to. So I sent the story off to those 2 email addresses, and one bounced back right away as undeliverable and said they didn't work there anymore. And the second, I never got a reply, but that afternoon I actually got a call from Timberlake's production manager saying that she got the story and, what could they do? And that just kind of took off from there. But I was just humbled. I mean, I was on the phone with the production manager in disbelief. Am I really talking to this? Could somebody be so cruel as to play a joke like this to really get hopes up? But when I finally verified everything and found out that this was really happening, it was such an amazing feeling for me to know that I'm going to be able to get to deliver something like this to a child that needs it.
And what kind of, like, it came just with the tickets, or she got to meet Justin Timberlake?
Well, the response was that his audience is more adult oriented versus a 3-year-old kid, so they didn't feel it was necessarily appropriate for her to go to the concert. So what she offered was to visit the hospital. And I said that she's still in treatment. She's not in the hospital. She's still mobile, and we could bring her to him if that would be easier. So she suggested the sound check before his concert, and so we got to go back and spend about 30 minutes with him, and it was an amazing experience. I mean, Timberlake, what a guy! That's all I can say.
Really?
He was just amazing with her.
And how was her experience? I mean, how did she feel about it?
Well, at 3 years old, I mean, she doesn't get starstruck necessarily. She was excited. He poked his head in the door, and she ran up to him and
Really?
jumped into his arms,
Oh,
and she
man.
sat on his lap and read his concert book, the production book that they did for that, and it was just sweet. I mean, I cried when I saw her sitting on his lap. It was just
Touching feeling,
Yeah,
right? I
exactly.
mean, just see the joy in her eyes, you know,
Yeah.
at that age, what she
It-
was getting. It's just like,
it really kind of reinforced
It does, it
to me
does.
to know that I'm doing the right thing now.
and how exactly do kids get recommended for this program?
As Sonia said, we do the recommendations all come from Ann and Robert H. Lurie Hospital, and then from Journey Cares in Barrington, which is a hospice organization. So they go through a lot of the pre-qualifications, so that we don't ever have to tell a family, "I'm sorry, we can't help you," because of guidelines put together, through the IRS and through our general rules. So once that process is, or once the family has been qualified through either the hospital or through Journey Cares, then they're sent to us, and we go out and interview the family.
Interview the family and what's going on with them, and they get one wish.
We get we get one wish. What we try to do is create something that's going to create a memory. Less of a physical thing. I mean, if the child wants something physical, we can do that. But we want to do something where the family is going to say, "Remember that time that we all did this?" And many times time is the one thing that we're racing against. So, the sooner that we can get to these kids before their illnesses take too hard of a hold on their physical abilities, the better off we're going to be.
So, we were just talking about, donating. I mean, what are other ways a person could donate besides giving out money?
Right, exactly. So money is definitely something that we do need, but through volunteer efforts, as I said, if you do have a special talent, or if you have connections out in the community, where it can seem very small to the people that are giving. But anything that we can do, if it's a ride in a fire truck or even a visit to a firehouse, sometimes to a 4-year-old boy, that's a dream come true.
Now, do you know how many kids exactly have you helped out?
15, I want to say we're close to 15 now.
15.
Yeah.
15 kids you guys helped out.
Mhm.
And do you know the ages? Like what ages?
We
were?
really range.
Really?
Our mission is for pediatric brain cancer, but we've had kids from 6 months up to 18 years.
Really? That's just really something to hear, from especially what you guys are doing from Cancer Kiss My Cooley, and especially with the story with Justin Timberlake. But what I really want to know is, was there anything as simple as like maybe even food or anything like a toy that a kid maybe even asked for that you guys helped out? Because I'm just curious on myself, I know somebody asked for something major like Justin Timberlake, but was there an interesting like one of like a kid just picking something simple and like
There was a young boy out in the northwest suburbs. Actually, he was a teenage boy. I believe he was 17, and what he wanted to do was go shopping with his family.
really?
They wanted to go to the Woodfield Mall and just spend the afternoon together as a family shopping, and we sent them out to dinner afterwards, and that's really what their family values showed what they were about. So we knew this was something that they would take something away from, because they rarely got to go out together as a family.
So something as simple as going shopping.
Exactly. It was a memory that they wanted, and it was something that he enjoyed and was capable of doing at the time.
And it's pretty interesting, isn't it? Because just looking at the kids and seeing what the type of problems they have, and they don't ask for much, but just shopping.
Yeah.
And doesn't it just like amuse you sometimes? Like
It's actually very amazing, the attitudes of some of the kids that we get. So many of them. Just like Carter, where his dream was for everybody's wishes to come true. That attitude seems to trickle down to the majority of the kids that we are serving. There's a few that have gone out on their own that just do an enormous amount of fundraising on their own. And given the ages of some of these kids, the amount of fundraising they do is astronomical.
So how else can people learn about your organization?
They could visit our website, and that's www.cancerkissmycooley.org. We do several events throughout the year: the car show, the gala, the bike run we do, and the 5K and the half marathon. Those are all opportunities to come out and just show some support. If you've got a couple dollars to give, every penny counts. Or if you've just got some time to come volunteer to help us out.
And where can people contact you if they have any questions regarding to, Cancer Kiss My Cooley, other than the Facebook pages?
Yeah, so we've got a Facebook page of Cancer Kiss My Cooley, and then the website as well has got links to all of the board of directors. So if you visit the website. There's plenty of opportunity there.
All right. All right. And it looks like we have about a minute left in the show. Is there anything else you want to wrap up?
Well, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays, and I want to thank you guys for having us out here. We really appreciate you helping us spread the word, and for as terrible as a disease as this brain cancer is, I really look forward to helping out the next set of people or the next family that really needs us.
I mean, it's all about hope, right?
Absolutely.
It's all about hope and happiness.
Hope's the best medicine.
Yeah, that's what really gives everybody else. All right, everyone. For those who don't know, Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit organization which is located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us at the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at focus-on-tomorrow.org. Once again, I'm William Caballero. Thank you guys for joining the show. See you guys next week.